Governor Scott Walker activated the National Guard on Sunday to assist the Milwaukee Police Department upon request in the aftermath of violence in Milwaukee's Sherman Park neighborhood after a fatal police shooting. Walker said he activated the Guard after a request from Sheriff David A. Clark Jr. and conferring with Mayor Tom Barrett and Major General Donald Dunbar. The development came as a sense of common order returned to the neighborhood Sunday morning after a night when businesses were torched, cars overturned and set ablaze and gunfire erupted following the fatal police shooting. By mid-morning Sunday, the area near Sherman Boulevard and W. Burles Street was clogged with onlookers, in cars and on foot, but the area soon swelled with people showing up to clean up trash from the unrest the night before. MPD is restoring order to the area of Sherman and Burla and reducing deployments. Milwaukee Police, at Milwaukee Police, August 14, 2016. Shortly after 7 a.m. CST, people were showing up at the scene to pitch in on the cleanup. Some even crossed the police tape into the gas station, which was not being guarded by police, and started picking up trash. Officers ushered them out and the cleanup continued near the station and in the surrounding blocks. Mark Hale, 52, who works third shift at the Hilton Hotel downtown, said he was driving home and stopped by on his own to pick up trash. Instead of being part of the problem, I wanted to be part of the solution, he said. I figured if I started picking up trash, other people might do the same. A Milwaukee police officer walks near the scene of the burned gas station at Sherman Boulevard and W. Burles Street. Photo, Mike DeSisti, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Hale, who is black and has lived in the city his whole life, said he attributed the fires at businesses and squad cars to a lot of idiots who don't have jobs and don't want to have jobs. Hale said he has 4 grown children, 3 of whom are in training or studying to be in law enforcement. Point blank, I support the police, he said, adding from what he has heard the officer who shot the suspect was justified. MPD officer undergoing treatment at local hospital after brick thrown through squad window, striking officer in the head. Milwaukee Police, at Milwaukee Police, August 14, 2016. In earlier statements, Milwaukee Police said an officer shot and killed an armed man who was fleeing a traffic stop about 3:30 p.m. Saturday. The officer ordered the man to drop his gun, and when the man did not, the officer fired, wounding the man twice, once in the chest and once in the arm, Barrett said. At a Sunday afternoon news conference, Milwaukee Police Chief Edward Flynn identified the man killed by the officer as Sylville K. Smith, 23. Flynn said the officer was wearing a body camera that showed Smith was armed, and that Smith turned toward the officer with a gun after being told to drop the weapon. I want the community to know that the individual had a gun, Mayor Tom Barrett said at the news conference. Barrett said 125 National Guard members had been activated, but would not be deployed unless Flynn determined they were needed. Sources who wished to remain anonymous told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel on Sunday that the police officer who fatally shot Smith on Saturday is black. After an hours-long confrontation with officers, police reported at 10:15 p.m. that a gas station at 10 Sherman Boulevard and W. Burles Street was set on fire. Police said firefighters could not for a time get close to the blaze because of gunshots. Later, fires were started at businesses, including a BMO Harris Bank branch, a beauty supply company and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores, according to city officials. Flynn said Sunday 6 businesses were set on fire. The burned-out remains of the Jet Beauty store are shown Sunday near N. 35th and W. Burles Streets in Milwaukee. After a police officer shot and killed an armed suspect after a foot chase Saturday, a gas station, a beauty supply store, a bank and an auto parts store were set ablaze in violence related to the shooting. Photo, Mark Hoffman, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. On Sunday morning, dozens of people gathered in Sherman Park and formed a prayer circle. After a prayer, people fanned out to help clean up the neighborhood streets. The effort was led by the Coalition for Justice, a grassroots organization that formed after the police shooting of Donter Hamilton. Yesterday was a cry out for respect, said Nate Hamilton, brother of Donter Hamilton, who was shot and killed by a Milwaukee police officer in 2014. When you're hurting, you hurt back, he said. A group of clergy also joined the efforts Sunday morning. This may look like a graveyard, but dozens of faith-dollar community leaders are out cleaning up. This is our Milwaukee, Pastor Alexis Twido said on Twitter. Twido is the head coordinator for the Salvation Army's chaplaincy program that responds to traumatic events across the city. Common Council President Ashanti Hamilton said organizations that work in the Sherman Park neighborhood have begun outreach in the community, and that city officials, including the mayor, police and community leaders, are scheduled to meet at noon Monday. What we want is to make sure now that this does not spread to other parts of the city, Hamilton said Sunday morning. And we'll be sharing information with the community so they were aware of what's going on and understand that things will be moving forward. The car burns as a crowd of more than 100 people gathers following the fatal shooting of a man in Milwaukee, Saturday, August 13, 2016. Photo, Calvin Matthews, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Alderman Colley Franey, who represents the neighborhood where the incident occurred, had suggested that failure to deal with the frustrations of Milwaukee's black residents, poverty, jobless, lack of opportunity, could lead to unrest elsewhere in the city, including downtown where hundreds of millions of dollars are being invested in redevelopment. We need to continue to address the issues that people are frustrated by, Hamilton said. People want to feel like they're getting a fair shake. Others, interviewed in a person at the park, also pointed to gun violence roiling the city. 5 men were killed in 3 separate shootings that occurred Friday evening and into early Saturday. We cannot blame the police for what is happening, said the Reverend Jeffrey Hawkins of Westside Missionary Baptist Church. I can understand we get upset when police kill one of ours, but who is getting upset when we kill ourselves? That's where our anger should be. Another woman at the scene said the unrest was the result of years of members of the black community being victimized by the police. They have been taking our folks for too long, she said. This is a rights issue. 3 teenage friends with who live in the area came out to clean. They all said a lack of good education and jobs had boiled over in the fires. And while they didn't defend what happened, they weren't surprised.